Hi to my water dominant people. So you might be clicking on this video, this reading, because your sun sign is water. But if you go to astro.com and you know your birth time and all the details, you can see the balance of elements in your chart. I personally am a Sagittarius sun, but the majority of the elements in my chart are earth and water. So, and I found that out at astro.com. So they have a place where you can look and see the balance of your elements. So that's what this is based on. So we'll see if this reading resonates with my water dominant people, or if you just know you have a lot of water and you resonate with that element. This might work for you. So let's go ahead and see what the message is here. So we're getting family changes. Oops. I have a lot of cards kind of mixed together in here, oracle cards. Okay. Interesting. So we have family changes. You see that? We have soulmate relationship. New romance with a spiritual basis is here for you now. Dolomite, which is a crystal. Stay strong in your faith. A positive outcome is dependent on you keeping a positive mindset. And then sun. Your son is watched over and protected as he explores his world. This could also be an inner child aspect of you, the part of you that's really adventurous, that loves outdoors, right? Loves going on adventures. That now, if you're watching this during the quarantine of 2020, right? It's a main theme right now that's really putting a lot of pressure on relationships. There might be a lot of suffering inside as this aspect who wants to be active and moving is kind of stuck being dormant. And there might be this sense of screaming inside, right? Of, I just want to move. I just want to do something with this energy, and there's no outlet right now, right? So are you able to find a healthy outlet for this energy so that it's not burning you alive, right? Even though you're water dominant, I'm really getting a sense of fire as well. So maybe those are two elements that are really, really present. Maybe the fire is to do with what's happening right now in the environment. You know, when they combine, when they pair up in the body, they create inflammation. So maybe that's something you're experiencing right now, right? Maybe you're eating some foods that aren't that friendly for your system, and it's adding to this feeling, this inferno, right? And this energy seeking movement, activity, adventure. And maybe that's weighing on your relationships, particularly if you're quarantined with family. Maybe that's what family changes is about. Maybe it's weighing on your relationship, and maybe you're separated from the person you actually want to be with. And you're being asked to have faith at this time, right? As Dolomite's showing up. Of course, if you have a son, that's probably clearly what this is about. I tend to read for people that are either in separation from their soulmate, or haven't met them yet. So it might be, and also I tend to not get many viewers who have children, right? So that might be changing up though, right? Maybe that's part of the changes that are happening as I get reacquainted with my viewers. But the changes are happening in your family. So maybe you met someone that sparked something for you, and so you're already committed to somebody else, right? And that's creating some suffering, of course. That will create suffering, and resentments and confusion. So you're being called to not act impulsively here. To let this unfold a bit and keep a positive mindset as you allow this to unfold. Whatever the scenario is right now, I'm going to get more information. In fact, let's go to the Archetype cards by Carolyn Meese and see what part of yourself wants to take the spotlight here, or has become activated in this situation. We need to look at. Oops. Should I take that? Well, a few fell. So let me give it one good last shuffle, and I'll intentionally pull it out. Artist. So the inner artist might be activated right now or wants to take the spotlight here. The light attributes of the artist are expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. And then the shadow attributes are using talent as an excuse to mistreat others, posing as the starving artist to elicit pity. So I believe this is part of the maintaining a positive mindset, and seeing the synchronicities around you. Chances are they're abundant. And also learning to allow things to unfold and not attaching to outcomes, right? During the manifestation process, we often talk about how much of a gift it is to be able to create emotional intensity to manifest. But a trap that emotionally dominant people or people that have water exacerbation in their systems can have is attachment. So they might attach to an outcome, right? I'm water dominant too, so I understand. I have earth and water dominance. Creating attachment to the outcome that you wish to happen. And we want to manifest with the idea of this or something better, right? And not attached to a specific outcome or a specific person, to allow things to unfold so that we can have all the data. Sometimes we don't do that, right? So expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. So maybe there is this tendency to emotionally invest in potentially romantic partners when you're able to see them as a muse, right, for your creativity. So there might be some pedestaling happening here where you put them on a pedestal. That's why you're being encouraged here to allow it to unfold, because chances are you're painting a picture right now that and seeing them through rose-colored glasses, and it's not the full picture, right? It's not reality based. That will be revealed with time. So easier said than done when you're water dominant. I understand that. But just keep that in the back of your head if you're able to, right? That sometimes delays are a blessing because it gives you the gift of time and space, right? So this quarantine might be a gift and giving you some space and time to see things for how they really are. And, you know, when you have a creative mind, you know, chances are you seek stimulation. And when you're a stimulation seeking kind of person, you might be more drawn to the elusive partner. So you become desensitized to the person who's consistent. And that can be a challenge, right? And I say that because the family changes comes up next to the soulmate card. So if there's this romanticizing of a person that's outside of your committed partnership, know that that might be what's happening here. That the forbidden nature of it makes it more exciting or romantic or something in your mind. I'm going to get more details here though with the tarot. I'm going to go to the Gilded Tarot by Ciro Marchetti. So the first card that comes up is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is about making a decision, right? So maybe that is what's happening here. You feel like there's this choice that you have to make between a person that you're maybe already in partnership with and then someone new that's coming in that feels more like soulmate energy because there's so much chemistry. So there might be a temptation right now to leave it all behind. This emotional investment, something that was created over time, right? This relationship that was created over time, right? Because it is cups. So it's this emotional investment. So there might be temptation to leave it behind, and this fantasy of this love offering, right? It's fantasy based. And in this deck, usually the person is turned away from the cup. But in this deck, there's a fantasy around this cup being offered, right? So perhaps there's this fantasy of this person giving you their love, but right now they're kind of elusive, and that's what's making them interesting. So think about that. And then we have Knight of Cups. So that might be part of the fantasy, someone bringing their emotional cup to you, right? This person's leaned back in a fantasy. That might be part of how you're escaping this situation right now, right? In the quarantine, as we come into emotional turmoil, we're finding ways to medicate, right? And deal with the emotions, and we're finding ways to cope. And maybe you're using fantasy as a way to do that, right? Love fantasy. And I feel like that's natural. It's not, it doesn't make you a bad person, or, there should be no guilt around that. It's fine. Like, that's human nature. But know that it's probably just a curiosity, right? And that the emotional investment makes it something bigger than it is. Because you really want to make a good decision here for yourself and allow things to unfold. So there might be this fantasy of this person bringing their love, or maybe this is you bringing your water, because cups are water, you moving and giving this person your love, right? Moving on to this person. Because this person is also leaning back, because the horse is leaning back. So maybe that is you bringing this love. But the Justice card is coming out. Justice. Justice is about fairness, balance, karma, right? So if this is a soulmate connection, that means you've known this person before, right? So this new person who's triggered your affections, right? You've known them before, so maybe that's why there's this familiarity, there's this connection, there's this recognition, this soul recognition. And know that a lot of what you're projecting onto them is this past person, right? So perhaps they came in to resolve this karma. Justice can also be about the court system, right? So maybe you are considering ending a marriage, or I'm going to get more information on that. I'm really seeing that the new person, the soulmate person, is a muse, right? And you don't usually see a muse very accurately. Usually it's a pedestaled version. It's like the most positive version of that person. So interesting, because I asked for clarification on the Justice card, and I'm getting Queen of Swords. And this queen cut something off, right? Cut something off. So if you're feeling like this is your story, and that this person is coming in to show you that there are other possibilities out there, that maybe you're in a bad relationship right now and it's not something you can improve or work on, that the Queen of Swords is showing up, and that's the part of you that you can access, right? To cut this attachment. And then the Four of Wands is the soulmate card. So perhaps this person that you're considering your soulmate is the right match, or there's someone better. And it's interesting, there is a sun in this card as well, if you'll notice. The little boy with the couple. So that's very interesting. right? And 1111 is indicated on the Four of Wands. So this is potentially something that you're doing manifestation work with. And that's a proper use of your creative energy, right? Your imagination. Doing a manifestation process around a long-term partner, potential partner, that can perhaps mend and heal the current partnership, or if it's not the right match and it's just it's unhealthy and you know that you need to get out. The Queen of Swords is coming up to give you the courage to do that, to cut things off, to have really solid boundaries. The Justice card is coming up to say that you'll get fair, right? Fair consideration and outcomes. And to stay strong in your faith. Stay strong in your faith around this situation. It's not an easy place to be. Let's get some angel medicine. And see if there's any medicine from the angels regarding this situation. Mediumship. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. So perhaps the family change is the passing of a partner. Or you feel you're getting guidance, right, from ancestors. Or spirit guides, right? That's becoming those that have those abilities are turning on right now, as we have the time and space to really get in touch with that. So that might be part of this amplified energy that you're experiencing right now. Energies are culminating within you. Certainly if you've lost a partner, my condolences. That's not easy. And injustice can be involving the will and all the other legal issues around that. But know that the Four of Wands is showing that partnership is in the cards for you, right? Union. And your sun, there's a sun included in that. So that's either the aspect of you, the adventurous aspect, the curious aspect, or your actual sun. Let's go to Life Loves Me, the Life Loves You deck by Louise Hay and Robert Holden. I am creative. So again, with, right, we got the artist. So maybe you're going to create some kind of artistic work, creative endeavor with this story, with this experience, right, that helps others. Honor your unique gifts. Think of 3 ways you could express your creativity today. That might also be a great outlet for those intense feelings, right? We were looking at the Sun card. We were looking at possible aspect of self that feels confined here, right? That wants to flow, right? That water wants to flow. When it's confined, it can start to feel very heavy. And then everything else kind of goes out of balance too. So this is about balance, right? Right? Justice is about finding balance. The balancing of karma. Fairness, right? Fairness, legal proceedings, right? Courtroom. Four of Wands is soulmate. And certainly we have soulmate relationship in the cards here. So maybe you have been separated from significant other and you've met someone that you feel could potentially fill those shoes, and we're getting partnership in the cards here. I'm going to do one last card. The Crazy Sexy Love Notes deck by Chris Carr. Just to get some last inspiration here. Right, because possibly this person is also amused to this art, and it's stimulating a lot of creative energy, and it's coming out maybe in unhealthy ways, and maybe finding 3 ways every day to channel that creative energy will help with some of these feelings and resolve some of the suffering that's happening. I have spruce up your nest. Spruce up your nest. It's time for a little spring cleaning. Your home is sacred and your surroundings matter. Honor where you recharge and fill it with beauty. Make space by giving away or donating what you don't need. Your clutter could be someone else's gold. Plus, when we have less to process physically, we have more room to process things emotionally. A clear head and new room for great art awaits. For great art. Spruce up your fabulous nest. A clear head and new room for great art awaits. So maybe you're clearing space to create great art, right? You're eliminating things you're attached to, right? Because that can be indicative of the water element. If there's an exacerbation there, we get attached. That was one of the cards that was next in the deck, was the Devil card, right? Which is about unhealthy attachment, even addiction. So we want to make sure we use that creative energy healthfully, right? Healthily, and channel it into art, right? A creative work. Sometimes we as artists can use that to paint a picture of somebody, right? That's not true or imbalance, or to want to merge with somebody else, right? So if you can put that in your art, it can help balance out this soulmate connection. All right, I hope that was helpful. Let me know if any aspects of this story connect to you. If you like this format of working with the elements that are dominant in your chart. And thank you for liking the video and subscribing to the channel. I will see you in the next reading. Bye, empath.